Hello, Flirties. It's me, Benjamin, the Flirt Coach, signing on here at Flirt Headquarters. How are you doing? How's your mind feeling? How's your body feeling? How's your heart feeling? How's your stomach feeling? Honestly, that's the biggest question for me these days. Are you a tummy hurty kind of girly, a kind of boy, a kind of flirty? If you are, yes, sending you all the good vibes as we get into the full conversation with Nathan Serrato coming up, all about queer and gay dating. We go through 101 topics. Call us the Dalmatians. So much to get to today. I know you're not going anywhere, but up first, thank you for being here. From my heart to yours, thank you so much for tuning in, for listening, for streaming. Yes, wherever you are in the world, I really appreciate your support, your downloads, your streams, and your ratings. Please rate, review, subscribe. I can get it out. Subscribe to the show if you haven't already. If you have, thank you so much. And if you haven't, I recommend 5 stars. 5 stars on any platform, a written review, comment perhaps, and sharing this episode or another favorite episode with someone you know. Okay, full conversation coming now. Coming up on this episode of Flirtations, we're talking all things queer and gay dating with the incredible Nathan Serrato. Nathan is a trauma-informed coach for LGBTQ plus individuals and host of the Queer Conscious podcast, here today to have a conversation with us as we explore the beautifully complex, sometimes messy, and yet always real world of queer dating. We talk about the queer crossroads and how to navigate that blurry line between friends, flings, dates, sex, and more. We get into meeting in real life versus online and how to flirt while staying grounded and authentic. We'll also talk about breakups within friend groups and social circles, monogamy and open relationships, the concept of a second adolescence, and how to handle dating when it feels more like a search for validation than a path to true connection. Nathan also shares his insights around body image and our swipe culture, what to do when dating apps feel more exhausting than exciting, and how to build the kind of queer connection that feels safe, sexy, and fun. So, whether you're new to queer dating, have been around the block and back, or are just curious, hello, straight people, this episode has something for you. All right, flirties, let's do this and meet Nathan.
I heard you wanted to flirt. I heard you wanted to flirt. I heard you wanted to flirt. Hello, my name is Benjamin. I'm the Flirt Coach and a gay Libra. Everyone has an inner flirt.
Hey, flirty.
Live, laugh, flirt.
Work the flirt.
Work the flirt. Delulu is the Salulu. Expert on the flirt.
Hey, flirty. There's always another flirt.
Everyone has an inner flirt. Get out of your head and into the flirt.
Flirties, on the show today, we're talking all things queer/gay dating and relationships with Nathan Serrato. Nathan is a trauma-informed coach, breathwork instructor, yoga teacher, and host of the Queer Conscious podcast, helping queer individuals move from shame and isolation to confidence and connection with the self and with others. Hello, Nathan, and welcome to Flirtations.
Hi, Benjamin. Thank you for having me. And what a wonderful intro that was.
Oh my gosh, thank you. I think I nailed, I'm like glancing back at it now, that was from a script, Flirties. I think I hit all my words.
I think you did.
Yeah, fantastic. Thanks for being on Flirtations today. I'm excited to meet with you, collaborate with you again. I was very lucky to be featured on your podcast, Queer Conscious, not that long ago.
No, people loved it. They were like, you two need to get together again. I was like, funny you say that. We're going to be together again next week. That was last week.
Little did they know, it was already in the works.
Yeah, so that's great.
They said the compatibility was pretty high, Nathan.
They did. Yes. I think we said that too on the podcast. I think they noticed it.
Yeah, I agree. Okay, as we get started with the interview today, Flirties, so many things coming your way. We're going to be talking about queer dating, gay dating, all the experiences you're going to have. Yes. And with that, like navigating friendships and social circles where you probably are also there with your ex, someone you've slept with, someone you've hooked up with, someone you've met on an app, someone you've ghosted. We're going to be talking about dating in real life versus online. We're going to be talking about this idea of a second adolescence. What do we do with those experiences? Do we feel like we have to make up for lost time? Do we try and rush through connections? How does dating even work? Good God. Do you think we can get it all in?
Yeah, we've got 8 hours, right?
Yeah, exactly. Just call us the Dalmatians. We have 101 topics today to get to. But the first question, I know you a little bit from the conversation we had on Queer Conscious Flirties. If you haven't listened to that episode, please, after you finish this one, go listen to it. It's absolutely fantastic. But how you got started in this work, maybe what inspired you to go the trauma-informed route? Yeah.
Yes.
Share a little bit more about yourself with the Flirty.
Absolutely. So, Queer Conscious really started from being so tired of meeting guys on the dating apps and having to go to the gay bars to meet people. I was like, where do you just find genuine connections that doesn't revolve around sex and alcohol? Like, I just wanted friendships. And so it started as a meetup group. And then as it sort of progressed, I was getting trainings and certifications and sort of tired of the lack of mental health resources for queer people. Like, I would tell things to my therapist and they'd be like, what the hell is a bottom? And religious trauma, what do you mean? Go talk to your pastor. And I'm like, yeah, this isn't helpful. So, I think by the time 2020 had come around, I was on the planning commission and I was just sick of arguing about how long people should argue or have their Christmas lights up. And I was like, what are we doing with our lives? And so I decided, you know what, let me take Queer Conscious to the next level and let me just start supporting people. And I have now. So yeah, it's been wonderful.
I love that. Enough about setbacks with fencing and yards and where you're going to put your building footprint. We're talking about the setbacks maybe we're going to experience in dating and relationships. As in that initial conversation we had, we learned live as it played out. We were both planners. We're both yoga teachers and have really taken a whole new direction with our lives.
Yes. Which has brought us here now, where we're both helping people with dating and relationships. So, I think ultimately that's what's going to heal the world, not, putting limitations on people's ability to celebrate the holidays. So
I know.
Here we are.
But I mean, those level 2 home occupations, what if you're going to operate a daycare or salon in your home, right?
The devastation of that.
The noise, the traffic. Oh my gosh. There's a lot of unforeseen consequences, perhaps. We have to evaluate it from every angle.
Perhaps. Yeah, for 3 hours.
I mean, but also, would you want to live next door to a daycare? I don't know. Something to think
probably
about.
I wouldn't choose that for me. I would not choose that life for me. But.
Maybe not. Or, oh my gosh, next door, this was always next door to a grooming. For dogs.
Oh, like a dog groom. I would love that. Oh my God, puppies every day.
Well, a lot of people did not. That was the one. Amazing. No, they were like,
I would not mind.
Especially with like during the pandemic and post-pandemic too, right? A lot of us working from home now. That was like, but wait a second, what if I'm on my Zoom call and there's dogs barking? Put some headphones in, I guess.
Close the window. I don't know.
Close the windows. Goodness gracious. All right. In your time starting Queer Conscious, I want to hear a little bit about some of the themes that come up in your work and about some of the people that you work with.
Yeah, well, I work with all kinds of people in the LGBTQ community, and I am hetero-friendly too. So legally, I can't turn them away. No, I'm kidding. I love the straights. I think straight people really can learn a lot from queer people, and I think they admire the freedom at which we approach relationships and how we define relationships for ourselves, especially outside of gender roles and stereotypes. So I think they appreciate the lack of judgment that I provide. But I work with couples. I help mediate between couples, helping couples open their relationships, dealing with conflict, argue better. And my favorite is helping single people to start being in connection more. Because I think we're in a place in society where, we're sort of closed off. We're sort of afraid of connection. We've boundaried ourselves off from the world and created these perfect little echo chambers where nothing can hurt us. And I want to encourage people not to get hurt, but to actually to embrace connection, which inevitably might hurt you, right? But I think it's worth it more than just closing ourselves off.
Yeah, that's part of the risk. I mean, dating doesn't come without its risks and maybe a broken heart or two. That's part of the process.
Or 3.
or 3. All right. I've got one more question here in the About You section of the interview. As you are a somatic practitioner,
Yes.
yoga, breath work, Reiki, and there's just so much advice out there about, how talk therapy, some modalities there can be certainly beneficial and helpful. And a lot of flirties are doing amazing work there. But then there's also the somatic practices, the feeling practices, the embodiment practices. And so I want to hear a little bit about how that may complement some more traditional therapies and why that's important.
Yes. Yeah. So first of all, love therapy, love talk therapy can be very helpful.
Yeah.
And I think for queer people, just imagine a queer person hiding themselves for so long. It's like their bodies have adapted to looking over their shoulder or to code switching and making sure they can hide those parts of themselves that, might cause some discrimination or might cause them to stand out. And so that's so ingrained in our nervous systems and our bodies that somatic work can help us to rewire that automatic habit for us. And so that's why experiential growth, like breath work, like yoga, like meditation, or parts work, internal family systems work, that can really help people to shift out of this need to protect ourselves, which is very limiting, right? It's going to prevent us from going up to the cuties, out in public or flirting. And, you know, that's not going to help you. So,
No, you're speaking to a couple experiences where it's like sometimes just admitting the truth to ourselves, let alone out loud, whatever that truth is, and maybe we're not even unsure what that is, but it's on the tip of our tongue, can be really uncomfortable. It could even be as simple as coming out, right? Yeah. Like that might be a really scary experience. And so if we can be with those feelings and somehow work through the discomfort, the nerves, the anxiety, just whatever's coming up for us, I hope it helps us just get to that aspect of truth, maybe with a little bit more clarity, a little bit more confidence, even more quickly, perhaps. Yeah.
Amen. You said that perfectly. It's like the shame is sort of just so overwhelming. You have to kind of get used to it and move through it so that you can be more authentic with your truth.
Absolutely. And you were talking a moment ago, and I see this play out in dating across the board, straights and queers, where like so much of us, like, we crave connection, of course. We're human beings. Like, it's an instinct. It's a part of our DNA, our biology. We're going to want to feel and be connected to other human beings. And then when you get in all these layers, could be fear, right? Feelings of unworthiness, self-esteem, I'm not good enough, you're not out. And so sometimes what happens is we cosplay dating, is what I say. Like, we sort of, right, like play house with people and we pretend like we're dating and we're in these intimate, deep relationships. But we're not. We're just texting, or we're just hooking up, or we're just talking about like maybe hobbies, interest, and that can be great. But like, that's way different than talking about values, life, fears, beliefs, insecurities. Yeah. Very different.
Or you're doing things like the way that you're supposed to be doing them rather than what feels good and exciting for you to do, you know?
Yeah. So. I think sometimes we even rush to commitment so we can like call somebody ours, right? And avoid the actual process of dating. That having of the relationship. Like, yay, I've made it in life. I'm successful. I'm here. All right. Let's get into the Q&A, because this is going to be a fairly, in terms of outline and structure, a fairly classic Q&A episode, as the Flirties came through with tons of questions, of course. Let's start with this one. And maybe for the flirty listening that is new to queer dating, I got a couple questions here from women, from men. Maybe you're in the process of transforming, right? Identifying as trans. And so how can you maybe dip a toe or two into the queer dating world?
So take a deep breath.
Yes.
Take a deep breath. There's no right or wrong way to be queer. And I think that's where people get tripped up enough. They're like, oh, I'm not gay enough. I'm not lesbian enough. I'm not trans enough. And there's no right or wrong way. There's so many different expressions. And I think that fear of not enoughness is going to stop you from even exploring, queer dating. And this is kind of a hot take, but I actually think dating apps, if you are new to gay dating, can be a helpful structure to, sort of explore that, because you kind of lay everything out there. You're like, okay, I'm bi, I'm gay, I'm exploring. And so people know what to expect when dating you, and vice versa, you know what to expect from other people. So it can be a little bit easier than maybe going out to, some gay event and meeting gay people for the first time, which can be a little bit more scary for people. So dating apps in that sense can be helpful.
Okay. I get what you're saying there, because one of the questions that came through a few times was like, if you're flirting in real life, you're meeting someone in real life, how do you know that they're gay? Right?
Well, that's sort of the expert level right nowadays. Like, I can go out and I sort of can read on body language.
Oh God, I have no idea anymore. It used to be fairly easy, I feel like, but now I have no idea.
This is it's like cruising 101, except it's not going to end in some salacious activity. It's just eye contact, right? Is that person lingering in eye contact a little bit? Are they leaning towards you? Are they talking back and forth? Right? That means they're probably into at least the conversation, if not you, romantically in a attraction kind of setting. But, if that's the case, ask them for the number. Right. And worst case, they're not going to flip a switch and be like, oh my God, I hate you. Like, they're obviously leaning into the conversation.
Right.
I'm blessed to live in San Diego, where it's, pretty, liberal. There's lots of queer people out and about. And that's not going to happen for somebody who's living in, the Midwest somewhere in some small rural town. It's going to be a little bit different, which is where the dating apps could be actually very helpful. And if you're not doing the dating apps, maybe you find some meetup groups. Here where I live, there's a meetup group for pretty much everything, board gamers, surfing, like anything and everything under the sun. And friendships can just be a good way to test out relationships in the queer community. Like, stop over focusing on the romantic relationship itself. There is a study somewhere actually that they did 85% of LGBTQ relationships that they surveyed started off as friendships.
As friends.
So from the friendship to the romantic relationship pipeline. And so kind of getting out of your head that you need to focus on the having of this romantic relationship can be, ease a lot of the pressure for you.
Right. Come on, statistic. I love that. That's something I need to do more of in my prep, is bring in the studies, right? I love dropping a couple times, research shows, studies show. It just, God, it adds something to it. But I love what you're saying here, using the dating apps as a tool, because when you're on the apps, you're not going to have to guess how someone identifies. Probably it's going to be there in their bio or their profile for you, taking the pressure off that every connection, or if you're just starting to get into dating, queer dating, that you have to go right to the relationship. Focus on making some friends first, some connections first, finding those places in your community. Maybe it's a inclusive coffee shop or bookstore, or cafe, or local business of some kind, no matter where you live, where you have a chance at least of running into other people that you may be able to flirt with.
Yes, right. Exactly. And you're just building your community too, which is great for everybody's mental health. So.
Yes, and I love that is becoming a more and more popular piece of dating advice. I'm seeing all over social media, the news, and books, where it's less and less. I mean, yes, people are still focusing on the apps and giving advice there, but also having community being a dating strategy. I love it.
Yeah. It's wonderful. That's a great little summary too. Are you an AI chatbot? What is this?
No, but I used to have an AI chatbot. I gave all of my data to a startup company in Silicon Valley. True story. No idea what they did with it. They folded.
Oh my God.
I know, it's terrifying, right? But anyway, out there somewhere. I'll just keep doing my thing. Next question, Nathan. So let's get into this dynamic where, let's say, all right, you're new to dating. Fantastic. You've been in the dating world for a while. Fantastic. You're making some friends, some connections, and you see someone that you know from the apps, but you've never met in real life. Do you go over and say something? Maybe you see someone from the apps that you ghosted or they ghosted you. You see someone in real life that you had sex with and then never talked to again. They're an ex. It can be where I'm going with this is the gay world is not big. It doesn't matter if you're in San Diego or the smallest town in the world. You're going to run into an ex or somebody of the sort. What do we do?
Oh, well, I mean, those are all very different situations, right? If somebody ghosted you versus you just have seen somebody online, it's going to be a very different should I approach or not. If you've seen somebody online too, in what context? Like, have you chatted back and forth, or you're just stalking their profile every time they go on and they have no idea you exist? Because that might be a little weird if you go up and you're like, oh my God, hey, I recognize you from Grindr, and
that's a good point.
I recognize that torso everywhere. Probably not the best approach.
That has happened to me before. I mean, I'm sure it's happened to so many queer people where like, I've never seen the person's face, but then, like, I recognize it was in a yoga class, and I could see, I recognize those tattoos. Right?
But are you going to go tell them, I've seen your tattoos online before? That's like...
Oh, I've seen more than the tattoos, Nathan. No, I'm not. I did not.
Yeah, because that can be a little bit of an abrasive way to start off a connection. Yeah. But... what's stopping you from saying hello? Hi there. Oh, you seem familiar. Do we know each other? Yeah. Maybe start with something like that and just have a conversation. Okay. So I would say, just say hi to people. Yes. And your ex is there. Okay. As long as you guys are not on like terrible terms. Hey, how's it going? Move on with your life.
Sure.
Just squash the awkwardness right then and there.
Sure.
It's kind of my rule of thumb.
Okay.
So
I like that. Just acknowledging the person's presence. If you're feeling anxious or nervous or something, like I think a great way, if you are maybe following someone on social media, or you've sort of, maybe matched on a dating app and you've had a conversation that just sort of fell off, but you recognize this person, hey, like, so nice to meet you in person kind of thing, reintroduce yourself, or if it's the ex, just acknowledge them, wave or something like that. You don't have to have a full conversation, but you're right. Some of those dynamics are if this is someone you've slept with or someone that has ghosted you or you ghosted them kind of thing. Like, what do you think about that specific example? Like,
So if you've had sex and then maybe they ghosted you or you ghosted them. Yeah. I think maybe a polite nod, like a little, hey, how's it going? Okay. I recognize you. Cool. Okay. And just move on with your day. You don't need to make a big deal about it. Because I think what some people that I've talked to before have approached the situation to try and gain understanding, to try and say, hey, why did you ghost me? What's happening? And sure, you can do that, but for what purpose? What are you trying to get out of that situation? Are you trying to get some validation? They ghosted you. You have your information there. They're not interested in exploring a connection with you. Yeah. Don't do that to yourself, right? Don't beg for the attention, right?
Right. So like what's maybe coming up for you is like the feeling of that you got rejected, or you just want to know the why, but the why doesn't matter because the result's already there in this case.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. And then there's so many other cuties at this place. Right. So I'm going to be looking at the available ones, the ones that are interested in me. That's where I want my focus to be.
Yes. Go flirt with somebody else.
Yeah. What's Benjamin doing over there with his gloves? I don't know. But
with his gloves? Do I have on my Mario costume?
No, your Trader Joe's gloves.
Oh, God. I need to get a new pair. I lose them all the time, Nathan. I'm so sick of asking for new gloves. I just ramshackle. What's the word? Ransack the lost and found now and just try and find any pair I can. All right. How about this one? Pretty common experience you're probably going to have. So you've made a friend or two. You're going out. Maybe you saw someone from the apps. Maybe someone you hooked up with. We know how to navigate those situations now. And you're starting to develop a crush on a friend.
I love this.
Yeah.
Okay.
What's happening?
So what do we do?
Yeah.
Yes, you want to be very delicate with friendships because you don't want to lose the friendship. And so coming on too strong can potentially push that person away.
Okay.
Right. But you also don't want to hold that in either, because what if they feel the same way? And what if you start a beautiful romantic relationship?
Yeah.
And so maybe you just take them out, just you two, and you're like, hey, have you ever thought of us more of a romantic way? And just ask them.
Yeah.
And you're going to get your answer probably very quickly. They'll be like either relieved that you said something because they've been thinking the same thing as well. Or maybe they'll be like, oh, I've actually never thought of you in that way. I don't know if you're my type, and you'll get your answer pretty quickly. In which case you can just focus on the friendship, and there's nothing wrong with having friends that you're attracted to. Right. So,
yeah, I mean, I think this is particularly, I mean, I can only speak from my experience as a gay man, where it's like, you've probably seen some of your friends naked. You probably like hooked up with your friends. I know, actually, we haven't crossed that boundary, Nathan. We've been so respectful and professional.
I know.
But it happens a lot. Like,
it does.
You've probably seen each other's junk, even just out of curiosity. Like, I've definitely shown my friends my dick pics.
Yeah.
Have you?
Or you have it? Well, I used to teach naked yoga, so I've probably seen all my friends naked.
Me too.
Did you stop?
Yeah.
You did not actually teach naked yoga.
No, I really did. Yeah, there's a group here locally.
Benjamin, what is this?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm actually going to a class this weekend.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Sorry, the things that we have in common are just going to keep adding up here.
Yeah, do you know Naked Warrior? Do you know Coach Coco?
Yes.
What?
Well, we're
so
not in the same naked yoga communities, but I know of them.
But you know of them.
We have our San Diego naked yoga community.
Yeah, that's so
yeah.
Flirty. That was
just like
this was not on the outline. But let's. Okay, I have a couple thoughts, but let's stay here for a minute, because a lot of questions came through about body image, and just self-consciousness, and so maybe let's use this new direction of naked yoga to talk about that a little bit. Yeah.
So naked yoga helped me with two things. One of them was body image, because you're going into this space and you're seeing all these different bodies, and you're like, okay, we all have bodies.
Yeah.
Not everyone's walking around with chiseled abs.
Nope.
And it helped me to feel really comfortable with that. But two, having been a sexual assault survivor, I didn't really trust men. I didn't like men for a long time. And so that helped me to build trust around the gay community again. And I was like, oh, I can be naked around men. My alarm systems are calming down. They're not freaking out as much. And so that just is really a beautiful and healing way to connect with men in a non-aggressively sexual space.
Yes.
Right. So
yes.
I loved it.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Sexual assault survivor as well. I did a whole episode on it. Jesus.
Wow. Benjamin.
Okay, Nathan. But this was a really impactful part of my journey as well, because like as a result, a part of that for me was I just didn't have sex for a long time. Like my way of avoiding that discomfort, of avoiding that anxiety, was just to absolve myself of a situation altogether that might bring me some anxiety, even though early on in my healing, I tried to have one of those corrective experiences where you just want to go out and like sometimes we tend to go in one of two extremes where we become very promiscuous, just sort of trying to like forget about it in a sense, or we maybe abstain altogether. And so I kind of went on one extreme and then the far other extreme. But naked yoga, what it did for me was I started to get into it during the pandemic. And so it was when everything was virtual, because everything was closed. And I found Naked Warrior Yoga, and it felt safe for me because, first of all, it's obviously virtual, so it's non-touch. But even in person, naked yoga, it's non-touch, it's non-physical, it's non-sexual. The point is not arousal, sexual contact, to have any kind of performance related to sex whatsoever. It's just about to be there, right? You get comfortable just being naked around other guys. And I'm pretty sure every gay man in the world has body image issues, or it's related to their body, their dick, something. Everyone has a point of something that they're self-conscious about. And so it just was about being in a space, even though it was virtual, where I could allow myself to be seen and I was going to be okay. Right?
Yeah. And it just sort of like levels the playing field too. Like, right, we're all just bodies, right?
Yes.
And I'm allowed to be seen. You're allowed to be seen. We're all here together. And I think doing it naked, just, so all the things that you're insecure about sort of just wash away. And you're breathing through it, right? You're doing the namastes and the downward dog. So like you just get in your zone.
Yeah.
Right? So,
because so much of, I feel like, gay relationships and dating, it's just like we might make sex our whole personality. I think it's a very hypersexualized culture where you might identify with your position. You might identify with like a particular body type, if you're the otter or the wolf or whatever. And being in a situation like naked yoga, because there's people of all body types, all ages, all cultures, races. Like I find it's a very diverse group. That's been my experience in a few different naked yoga spaces. It's very diverse, and it's more about the brotherhood in a sense, where it's about forming those non-sexual relationships with other men, which I think is it's just so important.
Yeah, and I think that right there, non-sexual relationships, I think we need more of that, because the second adolescence in us, right, it's seeking that instant validation.
Yeah.
Right? We've just come out of this restriction of being closeted for so long, and we want to explore. And yes, go explore. But what you're also seeking is validation for who you are.
Yeah.
And I think that can come out and be expressed as hypersexualization,
Definitely.
which, you know, is fun. By all means, go have your hoe phase, but really challenge yourself to think, what is this doing for me? Do I need the validation, or maybe I'm looking for genuine connection?
Yeah. I really struggle with articulating that sometimes, because I don't want to come across as like, I want to present myself as being sex positive. I don't want to ever feel like someone is being shamed or judged for their actions, behaviors, or anything like that. And yet I feel this kind of hookup culture, this just overemphasis on sex as a form of connection, actually inhibits our ability to make those deeper connections.
And I think I struggle with that too. And I've been trying to shift more from the what to the how. Like, how are we engaging in sex? Not how many sex partners are you having? How often are you having sex? But how are you actually going about the process of finding a partner?
Yeah.
Are you just doing it just to satisfy that craving and walking away feeling kind of lonely after and deflated? Or are you going out finding intentional sexual partners for the sake of just exploration? You can do that.
Yeah.
Right. But the more intentional you do it, you're going to walk away having learned something, having grown, having fostered a beautiful connection through there.
All right, let's, we've got a few things I want to, if we can revisit our office days, circle back to.
Yes, please.
Sorry for that trauma. But about second adolescence, if you could share a little bit more about that. You know, maybe when you came out, I'll share, I came out at 18. That would have been 2004. And I was the first person out in my high school of like 2,000 people, which I don't like wear as a badge. It just goes to show what I think the world has changed a lot, but that is very dependent on where you live, of course, and your own culture and your own, family, your upbringing, all that good stuff. But maybe when you came out, and a little bit about second adolescence.
Yeah. Sorry. So one of 2,000 people, I feel lucky because I was maybe 3 of 400 that were out. And so
I was the gay kid.
The only, it's a lot of pressure. Oh my God.
It was, but I really embraced it, and it worked. Luckily, I think what you will about the South, but like my senior year, I peaked. I was chosen as prom king. They picked the gay kid for prom king. Oh
my God. So it was so funny. I got prom prince, but my senior year, I was out at 17 and but we had I went to a charter school. So the nerds were the popular kids. So they got prom king and queen.
Okay.
And then it was sort of, they had the DEI version of it. So the prom prince and princess. And so it was me and then the black girl at our school. And I was like, of course, it's us that are going to get prom prince and princess.
I still hear prom prince and princess there. Did you get a scepter?
Oh, I got a sash. I got a little crown. It was great.
I love that for you. All right.
Love you, Dion.
Second adolescence, because not everybody is going to come out in their teens. They might come out in their 20s, 30s, 50s, 60s.
Yes. Yeah. And so second adolescence, what it is, most kids straight kids get to sort of have their mess around and find out phase in high school. And they get to explore relationships. They get to get messy. They're out there drinking, but they're exploring from a place of an authentic exploration, right? They're trying to discover themselves. A lot of queer people have to suppress that for safety reasons in high school. They're not comfortable being out. And so they shut down a lot of who they are. And so the second adolescence, which, you know, could happen in your early 20s, right after you come out, it's a lot of exploration. Who am I as a queer person? How do I fit into this world? And also that desire that's been suppressed for so long for who you've been attracted to authentically now gets to come out, but it's been shaken up. It's been like a Coke bottle that's been shaken up, and now it's ready to burst open. And so, you're going to be really excited for a while. So it can get messy, and that's okay. Once you start seeing the consequences, you're going to start to want to pull them back a bit.
I mean, it's, let's just say it's like you come out in your 40s and you've never explored dating or relationships or sex with someone of the same gender or just whatever you want to do. It's like, it could be a little messy as you maybe feel like you have to make up for lost time. How does all of this work? You're trying to get information from social media, right? You're trying to get, you think porn is like what sex is. And so like, how does all of this work, right? What position do I like to be in? And so there's going to be an exploratory phase, and like have so much patience and grace and just compassion for yourself as you figure it out. Don't forget to make those friends as well, please. Make those friends. And this is why, like, sometimes I get the age gap question. And as it pertains to like the gays, like, I think like where I'm going with this, you might be at that emotional sort of maturity level at 50 as someone in their 20s is that has been out for 10 years. 5 years.
I think so too. And then I think it does something for the older person.
Definitely.
Who's dating the younger person. It's like, oh, I now get to have this exciting youthful experience. And the younger person is like, oh, I actually get to have this wisdom and someone to look up to because I didn't have role models that looked like me. And so it can be a very beautiful dynamic.
It's not just about like maybe there's great sex or something like that. And also,
and it could be great sex.
It could be all as well. But coming back for a moment to just navigating that friendship dynamic too, where we have crushes on our friends, or maybe like in a queer kickball league and you see someone on that opposite team and then you have a crush on them, you think they're hot, but then you see them like they flirt with someone else, or you find out they're in a relationship. And so I wanted to just come back to that because there is making a move, right? The gays can be, and I think this goes for all social groups, can be petty. They can be catty, right?
The gays?
Never, right? Who could imagine? They gossip travels, and they might be like, "Oh God, can you believe so and so talk to so and so?" Yeah, how do we
navigate the pettiness? Or
because
just the complications? Well, there's something that I call like the queer crossroads, and it's when you meet a queer person and you're like, okay, am I going to marry you? Am I going to fuck you? Or am I going to kill you? I don't know which of the three. Okay. And so you have to figure out how to categorize this queer person in your life because there could be mutual attraction, but there's this air of like competition, right? The kill piece, like, are we going to be enemies? Are we competing for the same guy? Are we competing for the same heteronormative acceptance in our workplace or where we're meeting? It's coming from this place of scarcity that like, there's not enough connection to be, or acceptance in the world to satisfy all of us, which is not the case. But I think that's where some of the competitiveness and pettiness can come through. So first and foremost is getting out of that scarcity mindset. And two, I think decentering men in a romantic sense can be very, very helpful because we can put a little bit too much emphasis, I think, on finding that man so that we can finally achieve those milestones that other people are achieving at our age, straight people are achieving at our age, you know, with their baby showers and their gender reveal parties and their weddings. And we're over here, getting drunk at brunch on a, Sunday afternoon. It's like, what are we doing with our lives? Oh, I need to find a man so that I can feel better about myself.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Well, I love that. I mean, we've all played Fuck, Marry, Kill as a game, right?
Yes.
Because it's just going to be such a common experience that you have. And I know like we don't want to ruin the friendship. We don't want to change dynamics. We don't want to embarrass ourselves or like be the reason, the focus of conversation in someone's group chat or something like that. But I also, like a thought I was having a moment ago was like, I just wonder how many misconnections there are in the world, how many relationships could be, but are not because someone just isn't saying hello.
Does this keep you up at night?
All the time.
I love that.
All the time.
Because, no, really though, because we don't, I don't know why. It feels just like this. We're afraid of cringe. I think I blame cringe culture. Like we're afraid to embarrass ourselves. And I'm just like, just stop,
so
be
true.
Weird.
Yes.
I think the thing is, if you're going to approach a friend and be like, hey, I have feelings for you, or hey, I'm interested in exploring this, you have to do that with security in yourself and detachment from the outcome. Yeah. Because if you are just so like, your expectations are like, we have to be together. There's no other option. Yeah. It's going to make it weird. That's what's going to make it weird. Yeah. But if you're like, hey, I definitely like our vibe. I'd love to take you out for dinner. And if they say no, be like, okay, that's great. Let's hang out next weekend. Great. Right. Just as friends. Yeah. Cool. You have to get over it. Yeah. So if you can be, an adult about it, great.
Yeah. And I've had, I've had this experience, like, gay kickball league, the queer kickball league, where like you're crushing on someone on another team, and like for weeks, like, oh, you're going to watch their match or game, they're coming to watch yours. You go to the after game event, and you're sort of like, oh, hey, right, really great game today. You look so cute out there, kind of thing. And then you're just dancing, you're walking, you're tiptoeing around the actual conversation you want to have, and then maybe you have it. Like you go to dinner or you don't, but like what's going to keep you up at night? Like the regret of not making the move, or that that temporary discomfort of, oh gosh, it didn't work out, and now I have to see this person again.
Maybe both. Maybe both.
Honestly, though, yeah, could be.
But I would rather know than not knowing, because it's that not knowing that would just kill me.
God, me too. All right, we got to circle back to one more thing, and then a final couple questions coming before we conclude the conversation. And I want to come back to body image for a moment, because I think I love that came up in the conversation today about naked yoga. Yet there are going to be plenty of people that are like, I could never do that. Or I don't have the option, even though you could do it virtually, it exists, but they are maybe not at the point of their self-love, self-acceptance journey where they feel like they even can look at themselves in the mirror. Yeah.
And that's hard. And I think there's two things that you can do immediately. And is one, take an inventory of your community and your friendships, and what do they look like? And like really analyze that, because a lot of gay men will sort of collect friends that look like them, or that have, chiseled abs and bodies. And that's not going to do anything for your body image. Right. Okay. But it's sort of this, I want to be part of the hot group. And so you want to diversify the friends that you have and make sure that you are not choosing people out of that sort of mindset. Yeah. And the second thing you can do is, I don't love positive affirmations with body. Sometimes I don't think they can be realistic for people to look in the mirror and be like, I'm beautiful, I'm amazing. But if you can sort of shift to neutral affirmations, that's actually going to help the brain accept that more. I appreciate my body. I love that my body can get me from one place to the other. I'm grateful that my body's gotten me here. I'm grateful for my legs. I'm grateful for my teeth. Like, what is that small thing that you can be grateful for about your body? And let that grow from there over time. Yeah. And so, I like that a lot. Those neutral affirmations, and and take care of yourself in the sense that, like, if you're on the apps, they can be
They can be a really toxic place.
They can.
People are, just vicious isn't even the right word. I don't know how to describe it. And I've experienced that as well.
Yeah. You gotta avoid the scroll and being on those apps all the time. People are mean. They really are.
They are. They think it's like, would you say something like that to someone in real life? Probably
they would.
Oh, maybe they would. Maybe they would. Well, that's another problem.
My first experience at a gay bar, a guy came up to me. We were flirting, and then he was just like, you could work out your chest more.
What?
It's like, fuck off.
What how strong I am.
Didn't ask
about
you.
To knock you out.
Yeah.
Do the gay gasp and throw my drink on you. See you later.
I should have. No, we don't waste good tequila. I was so insecure. Yeah, no.
I know.
I don't know what I said. I was just like, okay.
Yeah, in the moment, it's like, I probably would have done the same thing. Like, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
What do you say to that?
Fuck you.
Yeah.
Right? Looks like you could do a few push-ups yourself, sir. All right. Let's talk about, open relationships, monogamy versus polyamory for a moment. This is, I feel like open relationships of some form or fashion. There are different varieties, but open relationships and then monogamous relationships, dating to form a partnership with one person. Open relationships, very, very big in the gay community, in the queer community. Yeah.
What do you think about them? Curious.
Do you want to hear my motto?
Yes.
This is for me personally.
Yeah.
One mind, one heart, one dick. That's all I want. I just want one. I'm a monogamous kind of guy.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
And you know that about yourself. I love that you're myself. Sure about that.
And no, I'm not going to change my mind for the right guy. No, I just haven't dated enough. Or no, I don't need to try it out to see if it's for me. I know myself, but it's taken a while to get there as well. Yeah.
Have you ever done an open relationship?
One time. But open did specifically, right? It was the play separate but together, or play together with permission kind of thing, where it's like it's not open. You're not necessarily going on dates to form other relationships. So not a true polyamorous style relationship, or maybe you're looking to bring in a third or something like that if you're a couple. But open just to have those explorations of physical intimacy and connection with other people, which I think is more typical than true polyamory.
Yeah, no, I agree. But I think I love that it's been more normalized, because I think it's given people permission to get their needs met in different ways. Yeah. And we can't get all of our needs met by one partner, and not just sex, right? With community, with intellectual stimulation, with creative expression. That's why we have community. And so polyamory is just another way that people can get those needs met.
Yeah.
What I don't love is this hierarchy that if you are queer, you have to be polyamorous, or one's better than the other, or poly people are just avoidant people and they're sluts. And, there's so much that goes into it. And I love research. And so most of the research that I've looked at, it's very comparative. Like, people are just as happy in monogamous relationships as they are in polyamorous relationships. Yeah. And in some cases, in polyamorous relationships, the things that they feel more satisfaction around are things like sex. So if that is important to you, maybe polyamory is for you. But it's not that you can't have a fulfilling, happy relationship in one. It's up to you.
Yeah.
So I think it's wonderful. And gay dating can kind of feel like the wild, wild west sometimes. Because there's so many identities, there's so many options. Yeah. And it's almost like we have to build up the emotional intelligence, the communication skills to be able to navigate that. Because sometimes I've seen this all the time where, there's a couple, they've been together for years and one wants to be in an open relationship and then they cheat because they feel like they deserve that. Yeah. And I'm like, no. That's not how this works. Right. We're in 2025. There's no excuse for cheating, right? You talk about opening the relationship, and if that they don't want it, then, and you really want to be in an open relationship, go find one. Yeah. Right. Go find someone who wants to be part of that. But it takes a lot of communication, which is why queer people, we have to be extra vigilant when it comes to expectations, boundaries, assumptions. We can't assume anything. I went on a date with somebody. At the end of the day, I found out they were married.
Oh,
I was like, oh,
yeah.
Oh, I would have loved if you led with that, but totally get it. Thank you. You know, and we move on. But you have to ask questions like that. That's just the reality of it. So,
yeah. I hear what you're saying about we date and we anticipate or expect that one person is going to be everything to us. They're going to be our partner. They're going to be, the one that we're going to have amazing sex with. They're going to be our confidant. They're going to be our coach. They're going to be our therapist. They're going to be our protector. They're going to be everything. And simply one person cannot be all things to you.
No, I'm already tired when you said that.
It doesn't mean you can't have a beautiful monogamous relationship with one person, but to expect one person to fulfill every single one of your needs is just not possible. And so how do you navigate that? How do you have that conversation? What do you do? Ultimately, there's no right or wrong. I love that you mentioned, right? Studies show that, right? Yes. Regardless of the relationship type, everyone can still have the partnership and the connection they're looking for. It's, that one example you mentioned, like sometimes I'll see relationships get opened later on where maybe like that 7-year itch starts to settle in and they get a little bored, where one person may initiate opening the relationship because they fear or they just think the other person is cheating. So they don't really want to open the relationship, but they're like, you know what, let's do it so I can essentially not like sacrifice myself, but to not lose this other person, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Which is heartbreaking.
Yeah. I see that dynamic sometimes, but then I also see it work like, you know what? It works really, really well. And you're both just like really horny and want to, keep exploring sex with other people.
Yeah.
Possible.
One of my favorite couples that I've worked with, they were together for 20 years and then they opened up and they were just both excited about it.
Yeah.
And it brought them closer together. Yeah. And I was like,
it seems to be
what it should be like, right?
Yeah. It seems to be relatively controversial in the sense that like I've interviewed other guests that are like very much for it or very much like, nope, never, don't do it. Yeah. So
that's interesting.
I'm glad we can have.
I'm not an absolutist.
Yeah,
I believe certain people it's going to be great for and other people it's not. And it, we're all very different. So
it's about,
who am I to say what's good for you?
Yeah. How you handle if you're a jealous person, the insecurities that may come up, like when your person disappears for 2 hours on a Friday. Yeah. How open are you at that communication and that dialogue? Yeah,
exactly. Which all happens in a container. And when you define that container, that can be really great for a relationship, and not just around sex. It could be about anything. What are our expectations of each other?
Exactly.
So,
I mean, I'm trying to get in a relationship so I don't ever have to be on the dating apps again. Right?
Oh my God. There's a meme the other day. It was like, if I was a couples therapist, I would make both of them get on a dating app for 3 minutes.
Oh my God. Yes.
I was like,
they would find a way to probably make it work. I'm like, Lord, can I delete these already?
I know they're not fun.
But then again, if I'm in a long-term relationship and then 10 years down the road, would I open it up? I can't say never. I don't know.
Yeah. Who knows what the situation would call for.
Yeah. How about you, Nathan? Do you have you been in open relationships before?
I have.
Okay.
Yeah. I've been, it depends on the person.
Yeah.
Honestly, for me, there's some people who I want to be completely monogamous with, and some people that I would be more comfortable being in an open relationship with. Oh. And I'll tell you the distinguishing factor of one was a more introverted person and barely had enough social stamina and capacity to give me. And I was like, if you give that to anybody else, I'm going to be so upset. Yeah. And then there was another person who gave me plenty and I was very fulfilled. And I was like, if you want to go have fun for the weekend, great. Yeah. Just tell me about it ahead of time. Yeah. Don't tell me after the fact.
All right.
Fluid. I'm very fluid.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Are you a water sign?
Pisces rising.
That's water, isn't it?
Gemini sun. Yeah.
Okay.
But,
very interesting. I don't know what any of that means, but
okay. It means I'm amazing and wonderful and handsome.
Check. And way more. Good thing y'all can't see this video because I'm blushing. Okay. I've got one more question for you, Nathan, before we wrap up. And I just wanted to touch on mental health for a moment.
Yeah.
I know. It's huge.
That's a big subject.
I know. We're going to distill it into 2 minutes. Give me a full thesis.
What about mental health?
Well, I mean, I think it's just across the board in dating. I feel like it's this this unspoken thing where so many of us are dating with depression or anxiety or OCD or ADHD. Like we're somewhere on the autism spectrum. And it's like maybe we know this about ourselves, maybe we don't. But I just feel like mental health is this variable in dating that we carry around with us, but that we don't really talk about. But it can be a barrier to connection. And I know a lot of queer people just really struggle with their mental health. And so maybe just a few words of wisdom for them.
Well, I think even just in the context of dating and relationships, I said this already, I'm going to reinforce this, is really to decenter the romance and not saying to close your heart off to dating. Yeah. No, please keep dating. Please keep flirting. But decentering that as the end all be all and the thing that you're going after. Because, as I like to mention my studies, studies show, give it to us, that friendships are actually a better safeguard for your mental health, friendship relationships versus romantic relationships. And if you focus on building community, focus on building friendships, that's going to help you to get your community needs met. And if you're doing that, then you're meeting people. Yes, you're going to find somebody, but you're not hyper-focused on needing a partner to complete you, right? And I think that's where we get tripped up. And it's finding that balance of, yes, I am openly looking for a partner, I am dating, versus I need a partner now or else I can't function.
Yeah. That's something that would have helped me definitely as I was talking, just sharing more about myself in the interview we did for Queer Conscious. Like, all right, Flirties, we're about to wrap up. Go listen to that if you haven't already, talking about my journey, my experience with depression, and how I've really had it my whole life. I continue to struggle with it, right? Not every day is a good day. And I do what I can most days, even if it's just like I have something on the calendar, somewhere I got to clock in, I'm teaching a class, I'm going to show up for my responsibilities, I'm going to show up for the things that I have committed to. But like, if you don't see a video from me or a story post, like, or it's like, I cannot do it all. But what I've learned is to flirt, to make connection a practice. And that's really been one of my biggest motivations and inspirations to do the work I do, is to just allow yourself to be and feel connected to the people around you, to your surroundings, even to nature, of course, to yourself. And then take that pressure off yourself that like you have to have the relationship, you have to have the partner, like that you need to be in committed partnership, because I know you want it, but you don't. You're going to be okay.
I love that, and I think that's where our Venn diagram. I mean, there's actually our Venn diagram is very big now that we added naked yoga.
Oh my god!
Yes, all kinds of things we've added today. But really, is connection is so important, and I think we have to keep nurturing those skills, those social skills, as a society and as humans, so that we can deal with the shit that we're dealing with in life right now. So,
oh my God, we can add one more thing to the Venn diagram. You say important just like me.
Important? Do I say? How do I say?
You said
that?
Important.
How's one supposed to say it?
Just like that.
Okay.
Yeah. How do you say button?
Button?
All right, I'll let that slide.
Button. There we go.
There we go. Right. Oh my God.
I learned the right way.
Nathan, I don't want to say goodbye, but we've got to end this episode at some point.
We just started. Oh my God.
It feels like it. I know this will not be the last collaboration for sure. But for now, if you could share just where the Flirties can find you, work with you, if you're accepting new clients, maybe come to a yoga class, a breathwork class. Yeah, where
Yes.
Where can they find you?
So I am in San Diego, California. So if you are in the area and you want to do breathwork classes, we have queer yoga meetups every month, gay hikes, all kinds of fun events. Check out my website, queerconscious.com.
Okay.
And I'm Queer Conscious on Instagram. You can find me there. And yes, I am accepting clients. If anyone is interested in working with me, doing some somatic work or some coaching, can help you out with that too.
All right. Flirties, I will have all those links in the show notes below for this episode. Go check out Nathan's classes, his socials, the podcast, Queer Conscious. Nathan Serrato, thank you so much for being on Flirtations today.
Of course. Thank you for having me.
Until we flirt again.
See you next time. Yeah. Bye.
All right, Flirties, that's a wrap on this episode of Flirtations, the queer and gay dating episode of the program. Thank you so much to Nathan for coming on the show today. I mean, this won't be the last time we visit this topic on Flirtations. Absolutely not. I mean, your host is a homosexual, for goodness sakes. But until then, go check out Nathan's podcast, Queer Conscious, his socials, his coaching, and if you're local in San Diego, some breath work and movement with Nathan. Yes, you know what? I like Nathan. I do. I like his presence. I like his energy. I like his information, his insight, his smile, his eyes. Yeah, I'm into it. If I were in San Diego, I would be going right now to all of his classes. I really would. Until then, you can also check out our collaboration, of course, over there on Queer Conscious for more on this. Yes, queer and gay dating, relationships, all of that good stuff. So many good resources there in the show notes below for this episode. Thank you, Nathan. And thank you to you, the Flirties, for being here, for tuning in, for listening, for streaming wherever you are in the world. I hope you enjoyed this episode and all the episodes of Flirtations. Thank you for being here. Please rate, review, subscribe to the show if you haven't already. If you have, thank you so much. And share this episode or another favorite episode of Flirtations with a friend, someone you want to share some BFE, big flirt energy with. Yes, check all the things. Signing off officially here at Flirt Headquarters. My name is Benjamin. I'm the Flirt Coach and Gay Libra Flirty. Happy flirting.